You know, I had a lot of problems with this book. I had a lot of problems, and I know they were all me, but I still had problems. Come here, come here. I had so many problems with this book. Oh, and come here. You keep coming back. Come here, come here, come here. Come hang out with mommy. Ow. I had so many problems with this book. My own personal issues with the book. But anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina, and this angry young lady is Smokey. Smokey. We're gonna do an if then. Be on the lookout for an if then later this month. I started a new series, If Then. If you like this series, um, if this author, you might like this author. Check those out. I hope you are enjoying those. We started with the Bridgertons. Uh, if you like Julia Quinn's Bridgertons, you might like Joanna Lindsay's Mallory's, etc. And we did there's a whole bunch of books by the point of view of the cat, my friend here. We are going to do there's a whole bunch of books about mysteries in libraries, and one of my favorites has a cat named Smokey Joe. He's a boy though. I had my Smokey before I read the series, and I named her Smokey because she's gray, and I named her Sissy Sandy because she's Sandy. But anyways, yes, ma'am, I see you. Um, I had so many issues with this book. Oh, and if you could please hit the like and subscribe. I seem to be in the negative category lately. I would love to hit 200 by St. Patrick's Day or sooner. I would like to hit 1,000 by Christmas. I don't know if it's gonna happen. If I had one person subscribe for every video I've done, I would have over 500 subscribers. But I don't. But anyways, like I was saying, I had so many problems with this book, and they were just my own personal angst. That's what it was. It was just me. It's not the book. It's just me. First of all, we start the book off with Joe. Well, let me back up here. Lindsay is a sergeant detective with the San Francisco Police Department, and that's one of my biggest issues right there. My Eve Dallas is a lieutenant with the New York City Police Security Department, and she's allowed to go out in the field and do investigations. Now, in her world, if she's promoted to captain, she's allowed to go out, but on special occasions, on circumstances. But otherwise, captain is more a desk kind of thing, and she doesn't want to be a desk kind of thing. So, but she's still a lieutenant, and that irks the crap out of me that she can't go and be a captain and still go out in the field and do stuff. Maybe extra special cases or extra whatever, do some stuff like that. But we're 60 books in. I want another 160 to 100 more books. But at some point, Eve has got to get some kind of promotion, something. But Boxer here has got to stay a sergeant detective, because if she becomes a lieutenant, then she can't go out in the field and she has to stay. Now, there was one book where she constantly went out in the field, and a supervisor was like, fine, you're right, you're a really good investigator. I'm going to demote you back to sergeant, but I'll let you keep the pay. And I was like, let her go out in the field and give her the promotion. So she starts the book off, well, previously she was engaged, now it took her a hemmed and hawed for a couple of books, but she finally accepted Joe's proposal and they got married. So the beginning of the book is, the first chapter of the book is them getting married. Then we have Cindy, the newspaper reporter, Claire, the medical examiner, and Yuki, the lawyer. That's your Murders Club 4. And Cindy is dating Conklin, Lindsay's partner. And I had a major issue with this a couple books ago because Patterson, I don't know why he did it. I don't know why the characters did it. I screamed and yelled about it. Go watch that review. It's probably book 8, 7 or 8. Lindsay was like breaking up with Joe because she's never there, and they were broken up for like 2 or 3 days, and she slept with Conklin, her partner. You don't sleep with your partner, your police detective partner. You just don't do that. And why Patterson had to do that, I don't know. And then he had Conklin angst over it for a couple of months. Oh, Lindsay, you sure? No, stop. Then Conklin starts dating Cindy. And before he goes any further with Cindy, he goes over to Lindy and goes, Are you sure? Are you sure? Because, I could dump her and come back to you. Are you sure with Joe? Because otherwise I could leave her. And I'm like, ah. So, with the character progression, because I'm a series person, I like series. I like to have the character progression. This was just horrible character. I mean, I like the characters getting together and stuff like that, but I don't like the fact that Conklin played teenager and had to go, Lindsay, are you sure? Because I'd be happy to dump Cindy for you. I'm like, And then in this book, he asked Cindy to marry him. But so, anyways, and Yuki is dating Jacoby, who is married. So those are my character progression points. But so we start off the book with the marriage. Then we have a 15-year-old girl who has just given birth, walking the streets naked except for a rain poncho, with the stuff flowing down her legs, and you're feeling really bad for this child because some of the circumstances are really bad. And a couple finds her in the street and they take her to the hospital and they get her taken care of. They call Lindsay in. Major crimes box. Jacoby tells Lindsay to go check this out. So they want to check the girl out. Was it human trafficking? What was going on here? And the girl pretends not to remember. She's got amnesia. She won't talk to anybody. She's been through a traumatic experience, the whole 9 yards. Later, I'm sorry if I don't seem sympathetic. So the beginning of the thing, you're really feeling bad for this chick. Really? And then when the story comes out, you're not so bad for this chick. So then we have, so Lindsay's dealing with the pregnant teenage girl who's just gave birth and we don't know where the child is. And Lindsay's main concern is, where's the baby? And her bells and whistles are going off because the teenage girl, the mother who just gave birth to a precious baby, is not so concerned about the baby. And that's kind of sending Lindsay's bells kind of off. But she's all determined to find the kid. And if anybody wants to give me a child, I will gladly, I can't pay for it, but I will raise it, love it, dress it, clothe it, send it to school for the rest of its life. But adoption is so expensive, there's no way. But I could love a child. I could give a child a whole bunch of love, since God took mine from me. But anyways, let's get off that subject. So we've got Lindsay dealing with the girl, and Yuki, not Yuki. No, Lindsay's dealing with the pregnant girl. Cindy is called by a friend of hers, a nursing friend, who's had this friend of hers, or sister, come in and if all of her symptoms are being drugged and raped, and she wants Cindy to look into it. And when a second incident happens, Cindy drags Boxer into it, and they all get into it. And Cindy's determined to discover what's going on with these girls. Looks like they've been drugged and raped, and other stuff happened to them. So Cindy is determined to get into that situation. And Yuki is handling a trial for this lady who supposedly killed her husband. And there's a whole bunch of angst going on during this trial. First, the lawyer brings in the lady's kids, and Yuki doesn't want to get graphic with the kids in the room, and she protests to the judge, and the lawyer says they're well behaved, so they stay for some of the trial. And then somewhere along the line, the kids try and defend the mother, and they take the blame, and the court case is all twisty-turny. It's got a lot of surprises. Then someone tries to convince uh, Lindsay that the lady that's on trial with Yuki is innocent and she didn't do it. And they try and frame the nanny. They were rich enough to have a nanny. And it's very multi-layered. Very, very multi-layered. And a lot of the chapters are really short. And I like the fact that the entire chapter is that one particular character's POV, so that you know that when you start this character and when you start this chapter and you know whose POV it is, you can follow it. When we were doing the J.P. Beaumont J.A. dance, and she did the intermingle with her two different series, each character would have his own paragraph, and you're like, if I didn't know J.P. Beaumont's voice so well in my head, I would have been like, what's going on here? But I like the fact that each chapter is a different character's POV. The entire chapter belongs to the single character. So several different people get points of view. We hear from, we don't hear too much from the teenage girl, but we get Cindy's point of view as she's investigating. We get Yuki's point of view as she's doing the trial and investigating, and the other attorneys, Mr. Hoffman's point of view on a few things, and Lindsay starts maybe believing that Candace may or may not be innocent, and she does some investigating, and they find a hitman, and stuff about the nanny comes forward, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really multi-layered thing here. But and the one of the biggest reasons for the young lady's amnesia is she doesn't want her parents to know. Really? She went 9 months and did all this crap. It's just but so we've got the three cases going on, and Cindy's life ends up in danger because she can't let it go. She's investigating this thing full time. And one of my other biggest issues with this book is that Lindsay was offered a promotion again and turned it down again. That was a huge issue with this book. Huge. That once again she turned it down. She's also trying to get with child in this book too. And I wanted to point something out before I forget. See how this is a thick book compared to the last one. You see how much thicker how much thicker 10 is. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a story. It's not. The last bunch of the book is the first couple of chapters of Now You See Her. So that was misleading. The book was bigger than I thought it was smaller than I thought it was going to be. So we go through the trial and we go through the twisty turnies with the solving the whodunit, because Yuki's absolutely convinced that the wife did it, and that's why she's got the wife on trial. But they find some holes in the investigation, so they gotta follow it through. And like I said, twists and turnies, they start trying to point you in all these different directions and misleading stuff like this, and then the truth finally comes out. And Cindy's life gets put in perilous in peril because she follows the investigation and doesn't tell anybody. Her and Conklin also progress in their relationship. So there's a lot of character progression in this book. It's a key book for the relationships in the book. But it's driving me crazy that Lindsay keeps turning down the promotion. So I think that's about it for today. Those are your three. Yuki with the court case. You don't see too much of Claire in this. So maybe she'll show up in the next one, 11th hour. We'll be doing this a couple days. Look for it. But anyways, that is the 10th anniversary. And please hit the like and subscribe. And let me know if I'm doing a good job or not. Am I yelling and screaming about Lindsay not getting a promotion or not wanting a promotion? And there's also a time jump in this book, which is unusual for the Patterson books. But there's a 3-month time jump at the end of the book, because the judge gives them 60 days to work things out. The judge in Yuki's trial, and the book fast forwards to day 57 or 58. So there is a time jump in the book, in the stuff that's going on here. So it's like you don't realize you've been time jump until the Patterson tells you there's been a time jump. We are now 60 days later, and you're not told what's going on. But and then there's a surprising resolution to the kids' case too, and you didn't see that coming. So we'll see what happens there. But anyways, please hit the like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks. Bye.